welcome to my channel. My name is Aurora, and today we're going to be doing a reading vlog. I'm trying to get through my August TBR. I started with Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz, and this was so good. I gave it 5 stars. If you don't know what this book is about or didn't see my August TBR video, this is about the actress who played Haley in One Tree Hill and her experiences in a religious cult. I'm going to dive more into my review in my reading wrap-up video at the end of the month, but this, I highly recommend. It was such a good book. I read this so fast, like the fastest I've read a book in a while. I started it on Saturday and finished it on Sunday, and I probably would have finished it all on Saturday if I didn't have schoolwork to do, but I did. So next book I started on my August TBR is Chlorine by Jade Song. I started this yesterday, which was Monday, and I'm about halfway through, and I'm sucked in. This is so good so far. This one's about Ren Yu, who is on the swim team. She's obsessed with swimming. She's on the swim team from like age 9 or something till currently the point I'm at. I think she's a sophomore. Yeah, just sophomore year ended. She's a sophomore in high school, and she's always had an obsession with mermaids, and that ties in very heavily to this book, as you can see from the cover. But yeah, I'm halfway through. I'm gonna give my full review in the reading wrap up at the end of the month. When I finish that one, I think the next one on my TBR I'm gonna read is Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll. If you saw my August TBR video, I said I believe this is a thriller, and this was my pick that had a movie or a TV show adaptation, so I'm super excited to get through this one. I was listening on Libby to Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I was very, very slowly listening to it, and I was not liking it. And I was listening to it too slow that it got returned automatically when I was about 90% through. So I think I'm going to count that one as a DNF. So anytime I'm listening to an audiobook this week, I think I'm going to listen to Someone Knows by Vi Keeland. This one says it's about an English professor's deadly past that comes back to haunt her, and it's a thriller. I don't know much about it. I requested this on hold a while ago, so we will dive into that this week. Let's get started. I got a little reading area set up on the couch. Got my coffee, got my water, got my journal, and the book I'm reading. And I'm gonna get comfy and start reading again. She's been obsessed with these mermaid books since childhood, and she's reading them again, learning to sew, I'm guessing, eventually sew herself a tail on. And she says, eventually, weary from the intensity of my prayers, the pages of my mermaid book began to wrinkle and fall off. I crumpled the fallen paper into balls and shoved them in my mouth, chewing and swishing the damp tatters around my cheeks. Upon near dissolution from my saliva, I then swallowed the remnants of the stories, cherishing how the sludge felt sliding down my throat, swaying the rumbles of my stomach when the ink depicted tales hit my gut. This was my solo version of a pre-meat pasta party, my pre-victory banquet, my digestion of my girlhood dissolution. Other mermaids consumed into me, nourishing my own, soon to burst free. So she thinks by eating the mermaid books, this will help her become a mermaid. She's a little delulu, but I mean, maybe it'll work. Probably will. Oh, she's just sewing the flap of her legs together, I think. I thought she was going to sew something to them. Ugh. Crazy to me that she's doing this right before the meet. Like, no recovery time at all. She says, I kept the shower running, hoping the water would wash out the bloodstains from the thread in the floor. I didn't want to bother the janitor. Girl, you're about to walk out with your legs fused together. I think you're gonna bother a lot more people than just the janitor. What are you doing? Oh! She's crazy. Okay, I just finished chlorine and it was probably another 5 stars for me. All I gotta say at the moment is good for her. Good. But now I'm gonna listen to my audiobook Someone Knows by Vi Keeland, and I'm gonna play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. And last night my boyfriend got me Tiny Bookshop, so I'll probably play that after. And yeah, that's probably it for today. Good morning, or should I say 1:27. I could not fall asleep last night. First things first, today I need to do some schoolwork. Now, to preface why I am in school at my old age of 24, not that you're ever too old to go back to school, I got my associate's degree in high school through a program. I forgot what it was called. It's been a billion years. In this program, you could either get your Associates of Arts or your Associates of Science. I'm not a science girl. I went with art. And I originally was going to continue college right after I finished high school and that program, but I decided not to. I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. I was originally going to go to school for acting, if you could believe that, my shy ass. But I decided not to because I wanted to take time to figure out what I wanted to do. Two things I always wanted to do was writing and YouTube. So, flash forward to last year, I'm 23. I've been working retail since high school because that's retail and warehouses, because that's all I could seem to get, even with an associate's degree straight out of high school. And I decided, you know what? I can't do this for the rest of my life. First of all, because it's not fun. I'm not a people person. I have social anxiety. Second of all, I have back issues and it was just really hard on my body working retail all the time. There's nothing wrong with working retail. It's one of the hardest jobs I've ever done. But yeah, I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I said, well, I could either straight up start writing and hope that I can get something decent, or I could go back to school to strengthen my writing skills and at least have a bachelor's degree under my belt. So that's what I did. I'm doing it all online, luckily, because it worked out because we moved, like, after my second term from Pennsylvania to LA. And that would have been hard to do if I was at a school there. But yeah, anyway, I'm getting my bachelor's in English with a focus on creative writing and fiction, because my lifelong dream, above all my other creative endeavors, has always been to be a writer. And that's what I'm trying to do. Right behind you, I have my outline for my book I'm working on very slowly. But that's top secret information. Yeah, so I'm gonna do some schoolwork and then I'll be back. Okay, I did some schoolwork. What, you got something to say? Anyway, I did some schoolwork, I ate lunch, I made a TikTok and YouTube short. Now I'm going to continue to listen to Someone Knows while I do my nails. As she lays on my area. Okay. Girl, go back over there. This is just what I deal with every day. But yeah, I'm going to redo my nails because I have this bronze color on. I don't know if you can see very well. And they're kind of crusty dusty. And I also don't love the color. I usually like to do gold. I use these. I'm gonna do that gold color. I usually do the light one, but I'm gonna try this one. And Monster is apparently gonna help me. But yeah, before I listen to my book, we need to talk about the summer I turned pretty. I watched episode 6 of season 3 last night. Girl, what are you doing? Stand up. Look, I don't condone cheating, but Conrad's right there. Why are you marrying Jer, who's a man child and like so selfish and only cares about his glazed chocolate cake with the raspberry compote or whatever the heck it is? I'm just like, girl, stop ignoring your feelings. Literally almost kissed Conrad. I'm like, do it. Do it. Okay. But don't really do it. Break up with Jer first. But like, if you've read the books, you know that you know who she ends up with. It's not Jer. It's not Jer. And he's a cheater. I think it's cheating. They say, oh, we were broken up when I went to Cabo and did the deed with Lucy. No. No. That was not a real breakup. It's like the whole Ross and Rachel debate again. Like, come on. And I didn't even watch Friends that long, but I know that. I don't know why she's ignoring her feelings when they're so clear. And like her mom doesn't even think it's a good idea. They aged them up from what they were in the books, I'm pretty sure. So she is older. I think still too young. Look, I'm 24. I get it. I've been with my boyfriend for almost 6 years, and we planned to get married, but we were waiting till we were in a financially stable place. And Jer has to repeat a semester of college. Apparently, he has a terrible credit score because he doesn't pay his credit cards. He wants to get the apartment that smells like cat pee. Like, no, no. Stand up. Jer is gonna be a doctor. He cooks. He takes care of everything Belly wants. Like, he literally said in his perspective episode, the first thing when something's wrong with Belly that comes to mind is he needs to fix it. That's a man. That's a man. So, girl, stand up. Stand up, dump Jer, be with Conrad, go to Paris. That's the most important thing. Girl, go to Paris. Don't give up Paris for a man. If he loved you, he would encourage you to go. So, anyway, that's my rant. I'm gonna listen to my book now. Do these nails. Okay, I got them all cleaned off. Now we can begin painting them. Alright, I finished my nails. You see? They're gold. They're not perfect, but I did the best I could. Anyway, I'm gonna clean up this mess. I'm 46% through Someone Knows. I'm gonna keep listening to this and play some Hello Kitty Island Adventures until my boyfriend gets home. and I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, bit of a late start for the day. You have to excuse me, I'm in my ugly glasses that make my eyes look so small. But all morning I've been listening to Someone Knows still. I have about 3 hours left, but I think I'm gonna pause and start Luckiest Girl Alive. My hair. I am on my curly hair journey and I tried something new today and it didn't really work out. I know what I did wrong and I think I know what to improve next time, but it's looking a little crazy. I do have this beautiful ringlet here. It's a little frizzy, but like, that's a curl. That is a curl. But then the rest is frizz. Yeah, it's not looking so good, but that's okay. I got my lazy reading outfit on, my paranormal captivity shirt. I'm just gonna start Luckiest Girl Alive. Oh, I should grab my journal because I'll journal about it too. And yeah, that's what we're doing today. But guys, my rant yesterday, I'm still thinking about it. About the summer I turned pretty. Like, I've been watching TikToks about it, and I can't believe anyone who's team jelly. But yeah, I'm still thinking about it. But it's also kind of got me in the mood for a romance again because I really liked those books. So I might have to find a romance on my Kindle or something later after I finish Luckiest Girl Alive. Let me know if you have any romance recommendations. I love Emily Henry. I've read most of her books. But yeah, anything along the lines of Emily Henry, I love. Just like, I want true romance. I kind of hate the miscommunication trope. So if we could steer clear from that, but I'm still open to all recommendations if you have any. So yeah, I'm gonna get started reading. Hi guys, it's Saturday, August 16th, 1:14. So I didn't vlog at all yesterday. I was feeling very tired. I just went to the gym and read this all day, and I finished it, and I have some thoughts. I took notes. Okay, first of all, the protagonist, Ani, very unlikable. I mean, without giving too much away, all this bad stuff happens to her throughout the book, like especially when she's younger, like 14. She was sexually assaulted by 3 guys in one night that she was friends with. And of course you feel terrible for her. That's unimaginable. I couldn't imagine going through that. But then she keeps hanging out with them. I'm not gonna get into the psychology of like why she probably does that. I understand there's reasons. She wants to fit in, but she just makes it so hard to root for her. She's mean. Like, we are hearing her inner thoughts the whole time, and they're always mean. She's always commenting about people's bodies. Like, one of the girls she first meets at her new school, she calls her shark eyes because her eyes are, I guess, very far apart on her head. So, this the whole time all this bad stuff is happening to her, but you're also like, you kind of make it hard to like root for you. I feel bad for you, but I'm not really rooting for you. The author also alludes to like her having eating disorder. Kind of goes back and forth between binge eating and anorexia, but I don't think the author handles it very well. Like, makes it normalized almost, which I don't like as someone who struggled with that stuff. Like, I just didn't like the way the author handled it. But something that really stood out to me was the author's casual use of what I think are pretty racist remarks. For example, in the beginning of the book, she is talking about her body at 14, like she has body insecurity. She wants to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. And she says, I quote, a stomach that rippled with fat, a belly button that wrinkled like an Asian eye. What? Sorry, what? I literally wrote in my notes, huh? WTF. Because what? I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's a one time comment. Like, she probably didn't mean it in a negative way. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt here. I'm like, that was weird, but I'll keep reading. Then later in the book, she's talking about the friend. I don't think she really considers her a friend. With the that she calls Shark because of her eyes. And then she says, she brought her fingers to her temples, stretching the skin so that she became an Asian shark. And again, I wrote WTF in my notes because, like, that doesn't feel okay to write down. I can't believe this book went through editors and that was left in. It just like feels kind of racist to me. I don't know. So yeah, I didn't love that. I think the book is arguably like well written. I think the storyline is interesting. I think it could have been done a lot better. But ultimately, I gave it 2 stars because I couldn't get past how unlikable Ani was, and the Asian comments, like interjected from the author, kind of weird. Right, Bean? She thinks so. And also, I feel like we didn't really get closure with her teacher, Mr. Larson. They kiss at the end, like when they're of age. She's like 28, he's like 38. I don't know. And you're kind of rooting for them to be together because he seems kind of sweet, but at the same time, he knew her when she was 14, so it's like, it's a little uncomfortable. But they kiss, and then she like bites his head off basically, and they never speak again. And I feel like I would have liked some kind of conclusion to their relationship, but no, I guess not. So yeah, 2 stars. I almost DNF'd at the Asian comments. That's all I gotta say. Okay, we're set up on the floor because I need to be in front of my mirrors. It's my mirror wall. But I need, for my drawing class I'm in, for our sketchbook assignment, I have to do 6 portraits of a human face. Mind you, I've not drawn a human face before this week since probably in elementary school, honestly. My final is going to be a self-portrait in watercolor pencils. We're supposed to draw in the medium that our final is going to be in. We got to choose out of a few options, but I chose watercolor pencils, and for our sketches, they're not supposed to take that long, so I'm not like actually doing the watercolor on them, but I drew my beautiful boyfriend. I did not do him justice. I actually made him look very silly. I feel like it looked better before I added the color, and I would have just left it without the color, but That's not the assignment. But imagine if this was blended with water. I swear he's way prettier than I made him. I try to do him justice. It's impossible. You can't recreate perfection. I think this one's better. He's got that jawline. Snatched. But now I'm going to draw me. While I do that, I'm going to be listening to Someone Knows, which I have like an hour 18 left in. So that will bring us to the end of our books for this vlog. So yeah, watch me draw myself. Okay, I finished Someone Knows. It was okay. It was very predictable. I kind of didn't like she guessed. I don't want to give anything away, but she guessed who was sending her chapters of something that happened in her past. She guessed who it was, but then he convinced her it wasn't him, and then the book closes from his point of view, basically saying it was him. And I don't know. I just didn't like the ending. But it was fun to listen to as an audiobook. I like listening to thrillers as audiobooks. Yeah, I gave that one 2 stars too. Because it kind of just dragged on for a while. But anyway, I was working on my drawings. Okay, this is bad. This is me. Okay, imagine it blended with water. I know my cheekbones aren't that harsh, but imagine it blended. Also, how do you do curls or waves in a drawing? Also, it always looks better before I add color. I did me from the side. I was looking in this mirror, so is this side of my face. But it's not going to look as good when I add color, I'll tell you that much. But kind of slayed this one, proportion-wise at least. But yeah, that's all the books I read for the week. Chlorine was 5 stars. I loved it. I'll talk about it more in my reading wrap-up at the end of the month. Yes Girl Alive was 2 stars, and Someone Else was 2 stars. So at least we got a 5-star read out of this one. But yeah, if you enjoyed, please give me a like, maybe a subscribe if you're feeling nice. I will be back with more book content. So thank you for watching.